the Nintendo Wii is the top console you can buy. I think everyone should have a Nintendo Wii. I think it's way better than the PS5, Xbox Series X, even older consoles like the PS2 or PS3. I think the Nintendo Wii is better than those. I think the Nintendo Wii is a very underrated console just because of the plethora of games that are on it, the price point that the Wii is at, and just there are tons of reasons that the Wii is the best console of all time. So reason number one of why Wiis are superior out of all consoles is because they're so much cheaper than other consoles in general. Like if you take a look at the Wii games that you can find on eBay or just consoles in general, they're so much cheaper than brand new games for the PS5, Xbox Series X. Like you can just find games for $5, $10. They won't be the main staples in the Nintendo Wii, but you can still find a game that's fun. You can still find games that will still eat up time, eat up hours out of your day that are still fun. Like one of my favorite games is MLB Power Pros 2007. I got that for $5 back in like 2012, even though it's like 2007 game. I got it used from GameStop and I've gotten so many hours out of it, out of a $5 game. And I don't know how to explain it, but when you buy a $5 game, like you don't expect it to be that much fun. But when it's fun, like you just feel so good about yourself because like you got a deal on a game. Like you got such a banger deal. Like it's not like, because when a $70 game is good, you're like, yeah, it's supposed to be good. But when you get a game for cheap, it's like, it's not supposed to be good. It's cheap. It's a cheap game. And majority of the games on the Nintendo Wii are going to be those fun, cheap games. Like sure, there are a few outliers like Mario games that are still expensive, but majority of the games on Nintendo Wii are still like under $20. So it's just like, it's an overall good time because you get to spend less money and still get a fun game. And when you want to venture out to Wii games that are Nintendo exclusives that are a little bit more expensive, you can get games like Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2. You can get Super Mario Sluggers. You can get Mario Kart. You can get Animal Crossing. Just games that are overall that are super fun. And like they're only on Nintendo Wii. Like they're only going to be on like retro gaming consoles. They're not going to be on your new PlayStation 5. They're not going to be on your new Nintendo Switch. Because Nintendo, they don't like bringing old games back. So like there's a new version of that game, but the remastered versions don't compare to the old versions. Like you can say the same thing about GameCube games, PS2 games. You can say the same thing about other consoles. But like Nintendo Wii has a lot of games that like were only good on the Nintendo Wii. Like you can't remaster them. And besides the fact that Nintendo Wiis are cheap right now, they're also really cheap and easy to repair. Like the disk drive, like say you need a new disk drive for your Nintendo Wii, it's only about $20 to $30 for a good one. And like if you need a new disk drive for a PS3 that's PS2 compatible, like it's way more than just buying a Wii. So what I'm trying to get at is like the price per fun with the Wii is like, you can't beat it with the Wii. Like with the, so like sure there are some PS2 games, PS3 games that are a little bit more fun than some of the Wii games, but like the price you're paying for like a good PS3 or a good PS2, it's like it doesn't compare to the Wii because like the Wii you're getting at such a value. And this next point can be said for a lot of consoles, but it's especially true with the Nintendo Wii, is that there's a lot of nostalgic games that come with the Nintendo Wii. So if you had a Wii growing up, you're going to like the games still. Like I've noticed there's a lot of consoles where the games just don't hold up, but when I recently started picking back up the Nintendo Wii, the games still held up after like 5 years of not playing the Nintendo Wii. And another thing about the Wii that is good on price point is the Wii to HDMI adapter. Like that's a good deal when it comes to like getting it hooked up to a modern TV. I know I keep on going back to price point, but that's a huge deal to me when it comes to gaming. I don't want to waste money when it comes to gaming because gaming is a luxury. Like you have to admit, gaming is a luxury, so you can't be just wasting money on stuff you don't need to be wasting money on. And something I want to address with the Nintendo Wii is that the graphics aren't that good on it. So I know the graphics aren't that good. Like of course a PC are going to be so much better graphics. I know a PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, like consoles of that time period and newer, sometimes even consoles that are older have better graphics. But plenty of people can admit a game that is fun but with worse graphics is a better game than a game that looks pretty but it's unplayable. Like a game that is unplayable but looks pretty is like, that's not a good game. A lot of people can admit that, and a lot of people would rather have a good game that is solid, that is fun to play, that can have them keep coming back for years to come. So what makes these Wii games so good? I keep on claiming that the Wii games are so good, they're so fun, they're such a good price point. Let's get into why I think these games are so good. Let's get into the specifics. I'm going to be using my favorite game of all time, Animal Crossing City Folk, as my example. So a big thing with games that I like personally, this isn't for everyone obviously, But a big thing I like with games is the pacing of them, like the pacing of what you do in the games. And a good example from Animal Crossing is like the pace you catch fish at, pace you catch bugs at. Like you can't catch all the fish in one day because like they're year round, like certain fishes can only be caught in certain months of the year. So unless you're time traveling, which has disadvantages of its own, you can't really do everything in Animal Crossing too quickly. Like it's a slower paced game, which is not for some people, I admit, but like for me, it was perfect when I was 8 years old. It was really good for me nowadays as an adult because you're not getting DLCs, you're not getting microtransactions being pushed down your throat. You're getting one-time buy of Animal Crossing and you're just playing and catching fish, catching bugs, making your little house, making your little town go like everything you want it to be. And the thing I didn't like about Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch was the pacing. It seemed like you could do too many things at once. It seemed like everything was a little bit quicker. And so I didn't like it that was a little bit quicker. I didn't like it was faster paced. Like I get you have to keep up with the times, but just it wasn't the same charm as like the Nintendo Wii games. And I'm not saying you have to like work at the games quite a while because they're hard. Like I understand the Wii games are like pretty easy, but it's like it was just more time consumption that it would take to like finish the games. And a little side note, games that have like similar remaster versions from like the Nintendo Wii to the Nintendo Switch, the ones on the Nintendo Wii have a lot more content to them. Like they're not harder, they're not easier, they're not really anything like in that aspect, but like there's a lot more content on the ones with Nintendo Wii. Like I found that the Twilight Princess, I played like a lot more hours, found that game was a lot more like time consuming, just a lot more fun than like Breath of the Wild or like Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know why, like I know hate me for not liking Tears of the Kingdom, but like I just didn't find it that fun. And I don't want you to get the idea that I'm some Nintendo fanboy and like all I care about is Nintendo, because I didn't appreciate the Nintendo Wii until recently, because I realized how long I've been playing the Wii for. And I'm saying Nintendo Wii instead of just Wii for algorithm purposes, if you're wondering. But I didn't realize how long I've been playing the Wii compared to my PC, comparing to the PS4, comparing to PS3, like just how long and how many hours I've put into Nintendo Wii. And let me go back to praising specific Wii games for a second. Mario Kart on the Wii, I don't know why, but that game was goated as far as like the pacing that you play at, the pacing your karts go. Like you had the motorcycle so you could do wheelies, like you could do burnouts and get speed boost. Like just something about it, like I don't know, because it's like it's such a simple game. Like I've always liked simple games like Lethal Company, Content Warning. Like those games are newer games of stuff I've kind of liked. Like those are newer games that are fun because they're so simple. Like something about when games are simple but there's lots of content behind them. I think game studios nowadays are way overcomplicating things with graphics, the way stories are. If they just go back to the way Nintendo Wii was, just how it was so simple, but there's lots of content, lots of story. But you're in luck. The best console, in my opinion, for 2024 is the Nintendo Wii. It's from 2006, but it still holds up. It's still a great console. It's still what everybody should have. It's the console that everyone should have. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. And thank you for watching. Until next time, see you later.